In this video, we'll look at ways to turn entire question sets into tests and tests into question sets by dragging them from one pane to another. There are several reasons why you might want to change a set into a test or vice versa. For example, you might want to assign a question set to students as a test. Or you might want to provide the rationales and topic references for the questions in a test to your students. Suppose you like all the questions in a question set and want to print it or assign it to your students. Question sets are meant to be used by instructors to create tests, so they behave in a specific way. If you print a question set as a PDF, it will show any question information you had displayed in the editor window when you printed it. That could include things like the answer, difficulty level, etc. You wouldn't want that if you were giving this as a printed test to your students. If you're using classes and assignments, you can't assign a question set to students, only a test. For example, in this developmental math product, I have question sets but no tests. If I open a class to create an assignment, you can see that I have no tests to assign and the question sets are not available. Both these instances are examples when you would want to create a test from an entire set. Let's look at how we could quickly turn a set into a test so we can print it or assign it to our students. I'll expand the Introductory College Chemistry folder in the Question Sets pane. Next, I'm going to drag the chapter question set to the My Tests folder in the Tests pane. You can drag a question set to any folder in the Tests pane to turn it into a test. To make things easier, press the Control key while you drag the set. This will keep the Question Sets pane from scrolling as you drag. Look for the marquee around the folder to be sure of where you're going to drop it. We now have a test with the same name as the question set. The question set stays intact. If we open the new test and expand the question set in the tree, we'll see that the questions are grayed out, indicating that the questions in the test are linked to the questions in the question set. Now we can print this test or assign it to students. We can also delete questions or add others to the test without affecting the contents of the original set. There are a couple reasons that you might want to turn a test into a set. One reason is that some learning management systems don't import tests. They only accept question sets or pools. In that case, you would convert a test to a set and then export it in the format your LMS requires. Another reason to convert a test to a set is because you want your students to see question information like the answer, rationale, or reference directly below the questions. In this example, I've created a study guide for my students. I want them to be able to see the answer, rationale, and some other information so that they can review the material and study. I've used the Display Question and Information button to turn on the information I want them to see. Let's export the test as a PDF and see what it looks like. In the Print Options dialog box, I'm going to select the Print Answer Key option as well as the Include Question Information option, so the question information I have displayed will print as well. I'll click OK to start building the PDF. After that's done, I'll download it and open it. You can see that in the PDF, the question information doesn't show under the questions. That's because tests are meant to be given to students without the answers showing. So the answers in the question information are stored in the answer key for the instructor's reference. If we want the answers in the question information to display immediately after the questions, we need to convert the test into a question set. As we did with the question set, we're going to drag this test to one of the folders in the Question Sets pane. I'll hold the Control key down while I drag so the test pane doesn't scroll. Now I have a question set with the same name as the test, and all the questions are linked. Let's open the new set and generate a PDF from it. Now you can see that the answers, rationale, and other question information I had displayed appear after each question. If you want to turn a question set into a test that you can print and assign to students, or you want to display question information for students, you can drag a container from one pane to another to convert it and keep the questions linked.